Okay, let's start. So, in a previous lecture, we have discussed about the condition of maximum efficiency for Pelton wheel, right? And we have got the condition as V1 equal to 2U. After that, we have kept that value in a formula of efficiency, and we have got this value, right? Now, let's do one thing. Here, we have taken phi. Okay, that means generalized angle of the outlet tip we have considered. So, right. So let me draw the bucket. So this is what your Pelton bucket is. Okay. And from here will be your entry, and from here will be the exit, right? So what is phi basically? If we extend it, right? So this angle is going to be phi. Okay. Now in this case, your theta is 0, right? Theta is equal to 0. That means your phi is equal to, this is AOD, that means angle of deflection. Okay. So your phi will be 180 minus AOD, right? Now, let's do one thing. What if this inlet, okay, it is coming with a theta of 0, okay? And if we keep this bucket in such a way that the inlet jet and the exit jet, okay, both are parallel. Okay, if both are parallel means what? The AOD will be 180 degree. Okay, so what if your AOD is 180 degree? That means what will happen with the phi? Phi will be 0 degree, right? Now let's put this value in this one. How much will be the maximum efficiency you will get? Maximum efficiency is equal to 1 plus cos of 0 means what? It will be 1. Okay, divide by 2, right? And this will give you 1. That means your efficiency will be 100%. Okay, so this is what the theoretically um, we can say that for maximum efficiency which can be achieved in this Pelton wheel is 100%. Okay, but why practically we are not getting that much efficiency? The reason is that if we are keeping the AOD as 180 degree, what will happen? Let's say this is your current bucket, okay, and another bucket is going to be like here. Okay, this is the profile of the wheel. Okay, so from here will be your inlet jet, and if we keep this as completely 180 degree, what will happen? It will be striking back from the back side of the next coming bucket. Okay, so due to that, what will happen? A back force will be generated on the next coming bucket, and due to that, what will happen? The overall force, okay, it will drop down, and if the force is getting dropped down, then what will happen? Definitely the work will be reduced, right? If work is getting reduced, then definitely what will happen? The efficiency you can't get as 100%. Okay, you can't get it as 100%. Instead, what will happen? It will start reducing its efficiency. Okay, so to avoid that, what is done? This AOD is kept in between 160 degree to 170 degree. Okay, so that the back force by the outlet jet will be avoided. Okay, did you understood this? In last lecture, I think we have this point. We have discussed this point also. Okay, so we have revised it once again. Let's move to the next part. That is the design aspects. Okay, or we can say that these are the different terminologies which are related to the Pelton wheel. Okay, so design aspects for the Pelton wheel. Okay, the first one we have already seen, that is the velocity of jet. Okay, velocity of jet. Okay, mainly it is inlet. We are talking about the inlet, that means V1. Okay, so how we can find V1 here? We have already seen that we can find V1 by using CV and the root of 2GH. Okay, this is what we have found. Okay, or if we rearrange the Bernoulli's equation for that nozzle, because here in the Pelton wheel nozzle is used. Okay, nozzle is used, that's why we are supposed to use this formula. Okay, if nozzle is not there, okay, like in case of the other turbines, reaction turbines, so in that case you can't use this formula because this is only applicable when the nozzle is there. Okay, now here this CV, that means coefficient of velocity. Okay, this CV, it can vary from 0.96, sorry, no, 0.97 to 0.99. Okay, so normally it varies between 0.97 to 0.99. If the value is not given, you can assume, but you are supposed to write that you are assuming that value. Okay, you can even assume one also, doesn't matter. Okay, whenever you are assuming, then it is fine, but if it is given, then at that time you are supposed to take the given value only. Okay, another thing about this one is this H. What is this H? This H is the head at the nozzle. Okay, we have seen the diagram of the Pelton turbine, right? The hole from the dam and everything. Okay, so wherever the nozzle is, okay, so the center of the nozzle, distance between the center of the nozzle to the top level of your dam, okay, that distance is known as the net head. Again, it will be excluding the HF, that is frictional head. Okay, so for that also we have seen that this is a net head. Okay, and you can find by using the formula, that is gross head minus friction head, right? The next terminology related to this is the velocity of wheel. Okay, this is kind of simple, which we have almost used a lot of time. Okay, this U, okay, this is the velocity of the wheel. If you know the rotation per minute of that wheel, then definitely you can find it by using the simple formula, that is pi d n upon 60. This is mostly used to design this diameter. Okay, so how you can fix this diameter? For that, you can use this formula. Next terminology is the speed ratio. This is denoted by KU. In some of the books, you may find it by psi. Okay, so you can use any of the notation for this one. Okay, so now what is this psi or the speed ratio is? Basically, this KU, it is a ratio of U by V1. Okay, U by V1. That means velocity of the wheel by velocity of the jet at the inlet. Okay, or you can also write this, if your CV is equal to 1, in that case you can write it as KU is equal to U by under root of 2GH. You can see here, if I put the CV is equal to 1 over here, then what will happen? V1 is equal to 2GH, right? So if V1 is equal to 2GH, then you can simply say that KU is equal to U upon under root of 2GH. Okay. Again, there is a variation in the different books. Sometimes CV is given and books are using this one. It's it's up to you basically. Okay, but I'll suggest you to use this one. Okay, because this will give you the actual values. Okay. Again, the value of the KU. Okay, it is in between 0.43 to 0.47. Another terminology is jet ratio. Okay, this is very important ratio because it gives you the relation between the wheel diameter and the jet diameter or nozzle diameter. Okay, so it is denoted by M and it is equal to wheel diameter to the jet diameter. Okay, let me elaborate it. Okay, so this is the mean pitch dia of wheel to jet diameter. Okay. Why I'm saying here mean pitch diameter of the wheel? Because there is a wheel, right? Let's say this is what your wheel is, and surrounding it is a buckets, right? So basically, which diameter you are supposed to take? That is what the question is, right? So here you can take this up to this also, right? This distance, or you can take the maximum one also. Okay. So there is a variations. That's why I have written here mean pitch diameter. Okay, mean pitch means where actually your jet is going to be straight. Okay, let me show you it through the model so that you will understand it much better. So hopefully you can see the bucket here, right? So you can see here the Pelton turbine is there, right? Okay. So mean pitch diameter means what? Basically, let's say your jet is going to strike at this position here. Okay, exactly here. Okay, so the distance where the jet is going to strike, from that distance to the another side again where it is going to strike. Okay, let's say is for this bucket it is going to strike at this position. Okay, and exactly opposite to this is this one. So for this bucket it is going to strike at this one. So distance between this, that is the mean pitch. Okay, where it is going, the jet is going to strike on this bucket. Okay, so that is what the mean pitch wheel means in this case. Okay, so these are the few terminologies. Let's see the another terminology. Yes, one more thing. The mean pitch, the jet ratio. Value of jet ratio varies between 11 to 15. Okay, between 11 to 15. And if in questions, if it is not given and if you want that data, okay, then you can take it as 12. Okay, so which is the common case, mostly used in industries also to design the Pelton turbine. Okay, let's move to the next part. Next part is the number of bucket. Okay. One. Number of bucket. Okay. This number of bucket is denoted by Z. Okay. Actually, there is a derivation for this, but through that derivation, it is quite difficult to get the required or what you can say maximum efficiency. Okay, so from the different researches and different experimentation, a simple or what you can say empirical formula is relation is developed. Okay, between the this number of bucket and the jet ratio. Okay, so and from that you can find that number of bucket should be equal to 15 plus 0.5 of m. Okay, or you can write it as 15 plus 0.5 of wheel diameter to the jet diameter. Okay, this is the empirical formula. You may find different derivation over this also, but whatever the result you got from the uh, derivations, okay, that is these derivations are the theoretical. Okay, and from that theoretical derivation, whatever the number of buckets you will get, okay, that actually gives you the what you can say very less space between the runners. Okay, जो दो buckets है, Okay, it will give you the very less distance between the two buckets, and if the distance between the two buckets is very less, then what will happen? Definitely, complete jet will not be accepted by the each bucket. Okay, so it is kind of a waste of the material, as well as increase in the weight, and even it will lose the give you the losses in the energies. Okay, okay. So size of bucket, size of bucket. First one is a width. You can find it by using this 5 times of the diameter of the jet. Okay. Another is a depth. That means कितना अंदर है आपका बकेट, कितना डेप्थ उसका होना चाहिए. Okay, so that depth again you can find by 1.2 multiplied by the diameter of the jet. So these are the few design aspects which will be required turbine, pelting turbine. Okay. Let's move to the next part. Let's see few numerical over this. Not actually, today we are not going to see for the design part, but we are going to use the derivation which we have used in last lecture. Okay, that means for maximum efficiency or hydraulic efficiency, or even we have seen the another different efficiencies like mechanical efficiency, overall efficiency, generator efficiency. Okay, so we are going to use that. Okay, can you see this now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. If even if you are having a issue in a visibility, I'm recording the lecture, so I'll share it to you. Okay, I'll suggest those who are having the network issue to take the screenshot of this question whenever you are getting the good network connection. Okay, so that when you are going to solve it, you can easily take the data. Okay, so let's see first one. Now here what is given? A Pelton wheel has to be designed for the following data. Power to be developed 6,000 kilowatt. Okay, this is what the output power is. Okay, we don't know which power is given to you. Okay, now what I mean by which power, basically there are different powers over here. Okay, the power which is developed over the wheel, okay, or the power which is developed over the shaft. Okay, so we don't know which is given over here. Okay, what is the system? What system we know that? Let's say here is a dam. Okay, this is the penstock. This is the nozzle. Okay. And here is your Pelton wheel. These are the buckets over it, right? Okay. One of the power developed over here is known as a runner power. Okay. The another power which is developed over here is a shaft power. And if this shaft is connected again further, if it is given in the question, okay, that it is connected to the generator, then the power generated is a generator power. Okay. So there are different powers over here, and it is not mentioned here that which power is given to you. Okay. So let's write it down only as P. We will read the question further and we will sort it out which power is given over here. Okay. So power given, output power is given as 6000 kilowatt. The next thing is given, that is head available. Okay. That means how much net head is available. Available means what basically? That means at this position, how much is the head. Okay, that means here it is a net head. That means directly H is given to you as 300 meter. Okay, then speed of the turbine is given. So we can write it down as N is given as 550 RPM. Sorry. Okay, ratio of the J diameter to the wheel diameter is 1/10. Okay, read it carefully and please tell me what is given here. Ratio of jet diameter to wheel diameter. Yes? Anyone? Tell me what is
1 by
given.
m.
Yes?
1 by m.
Yes, 1/m is given. Most of time what happens? You forgot that what is the range of m. Okay, it is always in a range of 11 to 15. Okay, of course, little bit depend on the given data, but it will not be less than 1. Okay, that is the first thing. Another thing, remember the definition of jet ratio. What is the jet ratio? Diameter of wheel to the jet diameter. Here it is given in a reciprocal manner, right? That is jet diameter to the wheel diameter. So here we can write M is given as 10. Okay. Another thing, overall efficiency is given to you as 85%. Okay. The next thing, find the number of jet. What you are supposed to find? How many jets are required? So let me denote it by small n, number of jet. Okay. How many jets will be required? Okay, to generate this much of the power with the RPM of 550 and with the available head of 300 meter with the efficiency of 85%. Okay. Another thing which we need to find is the diameter of the wheel. So I'll share you the screens, this page also. Also, I'll put the recording on the YouTube. Okay. So diameter of the wheel you need to find. That means capital D you need to find. Okay. And the next thing is a quantity of the water required. What do you mean by quantity of water required? Yes, anyone? Now here you can't find it in directly how much is the liters or in a meter cube. Okay, volume you can't find because dam is huge. Okay, and continuously it is going to generate 6000 kilowatt. Kilowatt means what? It is a rate. Okay, joule per second. So quantity also will be in a form of a rate. That means it will be discharge. Okay, so you need to find discharge volume per second. Okay, so discharge you need to find. That means how much discharge will be, total discharge will be required. Okay, why I'm saying total? Because the first question is number of jet. Okay, let's say if you are if this turbine needs 2 jets. Okay, so definitely the jet from one nozzle. Number of jet means what? You are going to use that number of nozzles, right? So let's say from one nozzle there will be different discharge. From the another nozzle there will be different discharge, and combinedly will give you the total discharge. Okay, so and that total discharge will be responsible to generate this much amount of the power. Okay, not the single nozzle or the discharge from the single nozzle will be responsible for this much power. Okay, so we need total discharge. Okay, so that this will generate 6,000 kilowatt of the power. Okay, now here, let's move to the next part. Let's find out what is this power. Okay, now here from the whole data, what you can see here, it is given that overall efficiency. Okay, now what do you mean by overall efficiency? Okay, here it is starting from the net head. Okay, it is starting from net head. That means from this position. Okay, even before the nozzle. Before the nozzle. Before the nozzle means what? Here the power. Okay, whatever the water power is, that water power will be equal to rho Q G H. This is what the water power is. Nothing is given beyond this one. Okay, nothing is given beyond this one. Okay, then the next thing, overall efficiency. Okay, what is overall efficiency? The output power to the input power. Okay, for the overall system. Okay, now your system is starting from here, right? And it is going to end up to the shaft. Okay, now why I am saying up to the shaft? Because why we are not saying up to the runner power only? Because if the runner power, if it is talking about the runner power, then definitely the other parameters which are related to this runner or the bucket, like your theta, then what you can say, velocity of that bucket. Okay, so parameters related to these buckets will be given, would have been given. Okay, but you will find here none of the parameter related to bucket is given over here. Okay, ना कोई theta है, ना phi है, not even a velocity. Okay, not even your u. Okay, so from that what we can consider that a shaft power is given over here. Okay, so let's say here this is a shaft power. Okay, now what is your overall efficiency now? Shaft power to the water power, that is rho Q G H. Now you can see overall efficiency is given to you. Shaft power is known to you in a kilowatt. Okay, rho is known to us, that is for water, we are considering basically for water. Okay, so water is 1,000. Okay, Q we need to find. Okay, G is known to us, H is also known to us. So the only unknown thing is H. That means this you can easily find from here, right? So from this one you can find Q. Okay, so please calculate and tell me how much is the Q. Yes, how much Q you will get? Quantity of water or the discharge required to get the 6,000 kilowatt. Again, one more thing, remember this shaft power is given in a kilowatt. Okay, and if you are writing all these values in a SI unit, then it will be in a watt. Okay, so convert this shaft power in a watt or this in a kilowatt by dividing by 1,000. Okay, yes, how much? Tell me the answer, please.
2.398.
Right, 2.39. Okay, and what would be the unit? What will be the unit for Q?
Cube per second.
Meter cube per second. Okay, I have observed many times that you know the units, but you are forgetting it to write. Okay, and sometimes due to that also you make mistakes. Okay, that's why I'm asking you the unit. Okay, so this is how you can find the Q. Now, let's move to the next part. That is how you can find this diameter. Okay, how you can find this diameter? Now for this diameter you must know u. Okay, जो आपका wheel है, you must know the speed of this wheel. Okay, velocity of the wheel. Okay, speed is known to you, right? Speed is known to you. Also, yes, speed is known to you. Okay. Now another thing, so you can write u is equal to pi d n upon 60, but you don't know this u. Okay, so the question is how to find that u. So for that you must think of the different formulas used to find this u. Okay, or where this u is used. So one of the formula is your ku, that is speed ratio. Now what is speed ratio? It is u upon under root of 2gh. Okay, or here cv is not given, so we can assume that value also. Okay, we can assume that value also, or we can assume this ku. दोनों में से कोई एक assume कर सकते हो. Okay, so let's assume the ku. We know that ku ranges from 0.43 to 0.47. Okay, so you can tell me what value you want to take. Okay, so it is up to you, but it should be in between 0.43 to 0.47. Okay, let's take 0.46. You can take any other also, but it should be between the 0.43 to 0.47. This is mandatory. Okay, so if we are putting this value over here, we know h, we have assumed this ku. Okay, so we can find u, right? So if we are assuming ku as 0.46, can you tell me how much u you will get? You can directly equate over here also. Okay, yes, how much u you will get? Tell me.
$35.29.
Okay, 35.29. Okay, so 35.29. Okay, meter per second. This will be the value which you will get, right? Now put this u over here. You can find easily the diameter. N is known to you. Okay, so simply put these values, two values over here, and find the diameter. Tell me how much will be the diameter you will get. Yes, how much diameter?
1.9 meter.
1 point.
One 1.92.
1.92 is, I think, something is wrong.
1.22.
Yes, it should be around
1.22.
1.2. Yes, 1.2.
1.22.
1.22 meter or 1.2 meter is also fine. Okay, so this much will be the diameter you will get. Okay. Now, the next part is the number of jet. Okay, how much number of jet will be required? Now here you can see we know the total discharge. Okay, we know the total discharge over here. If we can find discharge by the single jet, that means let's say it is small q. Okay, discharge by single jet. Okay, then by taking the ratio of this, you will get the number of jet, right? That is total discharge by discharge by single jet. Okay, this will give you the number of jet, but we don't know this. Okay, we know the total discharge, we have found it as 2.39. Okay, but how to find this small q now? Okay, so for small q, basically what we know, this q is equal to area into velocity, right? It is for a single nozzle. Okay, so area of that nozzle into velocity from that nozzle, that means V1. Okay, so first target is to find the V1. Okay, now how to find V1? V1 is equal to what? CV under root of 2GH. Again, here in a question, CV is not given, but you can assume it. Okay, you may think that in turbo machines, lot of things are you are supposed to directly assume. Okay, but that is what the process over here. Okay, so assume CV, generalize it is 0.98. So when we are assuming CV as 0.98, you will find V1 equal to how much? I think 75.18 meter per second.
Yes.
Right? So 75.18 meter per second you will get as your V1. Now this part is done. Now another is this one, area of the jet. Okay, area of the jet means what? That nozzle diameter. Okay, that means what? That small diameter. Okay, so how you can find that area? Area is equal to pi by 4 d square. Right? So how you can find now this diameter? Anyone? How you can find that diameter?
Jet ratio.
Yes, very good. So jet ratio is given to you here. M is given to you. What is M? Capital D by small d. We have already found the capital D as 1.22. M is known to us. Small d you can easily find. Right? So how much will be the jet diameter then? It is quite simple. 1.22 divided by 10. So it will be 0.122 meter. Right? Now you have found this diameter. Okay. Now put the value in an area. Okay. And you can find small q. Right. So small q is equal to pi by 4 d square into V1. Okay. So how much will be the value for this? If you put all the values of your diameter and velocity, कितना मिलता है? Very good. 0.878 meter cube per second.
0.78.
Very good. Okay, so this much will be the value you will get for the small cube. Yes. Now the simple thing, take the ratio of your total discharge and the discharge by single jet to get the number of jet. Okay, so you can find N is equal to Q by small q. Take the ratio and tell me what will be the answer. Can you get the round figured value? Did you got that? Round figured? You'll get something like 2.7. Okay, 2.7 or 2.8. Okay, so the value you will get as 2.7. Okay, but of course, number of jet you can't write it as like this. So you need to make it approximate to 3, round figure to 3. Okay, now when you are going to do this, you need to check it. Okay, whether when you are making it, making the number of jet as 3, at that time, the discharge, your total discharge will be more than this or equal to this. It should not be less than this, because this is what the quantity of water required to generate the 6000 kilowatt. Okay, so we need to check this. How you can check it? Q is equal to number of jet, that is 3, into area of the jet into velocity from that jet. Okay, find the value of this and check whether it is more than this value or not. How much? How much you will get? How much you will get the discharge, total discharge, when the number of jet is 3? Please find out. Yes, what will be the value of the Q?
Two point five five.
2.55. So you can see here.
2.6.
Yes, fine, 2.6. Okay, there can be a decimal issues. Okay, but you can find that the value of your Q is more than this 2.39. So definitely that means even if you are supplying more discharge, it can generate this much power. Actually, it will give you more than that. Okay, but that is okay. It should not give less than that. Okay, so that's why you need to check this always, that whenever you are rounding up your number of j, okay, find the Q again and compare with your previous one. Okay, it should be more than that, so that you can confirm that that system will definitely generate this given power. Okay, so hopefully you have understood this numerical. Based on this one, I'll share you the another numerical as a practice, 1 or 2 numerical, and